beginning, and how did you? And you chose someone new, and how did that happen?
Yeah. I chose, like when we were researching that first day, I chose Michael Jackson, and I think it's Jim Thorpe.
Jim Thorpe.
But then I talked to you outside of school. Oh, well, I talked to my mom, and she kind of said, I don't really think that Michael Jackson would be good for you because he doesn't really have a connection with you. I'm not really... Well, I like listening to music, but I don't really think that I would like a career as a singer or anything. And so that night, we brainstormed some people that kind of have a connection with me. And I think those people were the person I'm doing, Mia Hamm, another soccer player, I forgot her name, Jacques Cousteau, and J.K. Rowling.
But you settled on Mia Hamm.
Yeah, because like I said, I settled on Mia Hamm because I like playing soccer. It's a personal interest of mine, and it's a career I want to do, and I think that I would enjoy doing the project.
And what's interesting is your project may be, you might think it's about soccer, but it might be about actually something else.
Yeah.
Because what she's exploring might be soccer is a way of exploring something else.
I don't think it's just soccer then.
Cool.
So on my first day, I was determined to get either Jacques Cousteau, stop copying me, Leonardo da Vinci, or Audrey Hepburn. No.
Not at that time, though. I don't
No.
think so.
Either those two. I wanted to do Jacques Cousteau because I like to swim, and Leonardo da Vinci because I like arts and crafts and stuff. I didn't realize that I should have done Audrey Hepburn. So I chose her because, like, my most favorite thing in the world is acting. And
Alex, please.
And so yeah.
And so you chose it. At the beginning, you didn't consider Audrey Hepburn. We still have to figure out how she was an explorer, because it might be like Mia Hamm. It may take you in a direction you don't expect, because her humanitarian work may be what she really explored. It might not be acting. Acting may have been an opportunity to explore something else. Cool? Roisin?
I did this project in a group with Marie Curie, and at first I had like several other people in mind. Like, just being honest, I had no idea who Marie Curie was, but my mom told me about her and what she did, and so I did some research and decided that was probably who I was going to do, because she was awarded in chemistry and physics, and I just love science a lot. I have a microscope at home and a bunch of books. And so it's just something of personal interest. And so I did a lot of research and found that we have a lot in common.
I want to ask your classmates, is this, are you surprised by Roisin's choice? Is choosing a female scientist like Marie Curie, does that make sense to you? What you know about Roisin? Can you say a little bit about that, Angelina?
I think that's a good topic for Roisin because she really, really likes chemistry, and since it's a serious female scientist, she might enjoy the topic. So yeah.
Angelina, who did you choose?
At first I was working with Roisin and Hannah, and
I said I was interested in becoming a doctor when I grew up, and then Roxanne told me about Elizabeth Blackwell, and then I got interested in her, and then she told me about Marie Curie, and she told me some information about her, and I got really interested because I like chemistry too. And then I agreed on the topic, and then I wanted Elizabeth Blackwell again, and then back to Marie Curie. And
So you have a team. Is the team based on friendship, or the team based on interest, or both?
both.
Well, so you'll be able to find a connection with a good friend. That's the best of both worlds, isn't it? Julia, who was your first choice or choices? Can you talk a little bit about the process of finding Bella Caroli?
I didn't really. I was having trouble finding an explorer because I didn't really know what I wasn't sure what I was gonna do it about. But then I got interested in gymnastics, so I was searching for I went to sports. So I was looking for sports explorers, but then I asked Mr. Spedding of how to search for a sports explorer, and then he asked me of what type of sports explorer, and I said gymnastics. And he brought up Bella Caroli, and I was interested in him because I like gymnastics, and he was a famous gymnastic coach of the Olympics, so I chose him.
So we were able to find a connection between gymnastics and explorers and your interest. That with enough material you could use. Aiden.
Shrivas and I were originally going to do the project on George Lucas and John Williams.
And we had started planning on doing them the day before and a couple of days before.
And so, but when we did the research, I kind of brought up Thor Heyerdahl.
Tell me more about George Lucas and who else?
John Williams.
And so tell me about the connection to you guys.
Well,
why those two?
George Lucas, because he's a renowned filmmaker, and he has created Star Wars and other movies, and he's just he's brought the film industry from where it was to the next level, and it's become more not complicated, but.
And John Williams, where did that come from?
And John Williams, I kind of thought of him and Shrivas thought of George Lucas because John Williams is a composer who did film scores for all these different cool movies,
Including Star Wars.
Including Star Wars, Indiana Jones, Jaws, E.T., and all these.
But you're not doing them. Tell me about the change from where you were to where you are.
When we got to actually look up Thor Heyerdahl and know more information about him, we wanted to do him because it sounded like a good project, and he wasn't like one of those explorers who was really, really well known, like Columbus, but he wasn't those. He wasn't like a non-explorer.
But he was still like a really good explorer who discovered many new things and new theories.
And his theories connected to his explorations.
Aiden, where did the idea come from for Thor? Because I know that I heard you mention it. Was it you that brought it up first?
Yes.
And where did you come up with the idea? Where did you first see it?
At home, my dad and I were looking at home we have this big book. It's about this thick. It's really big. About the Kon-Tiki, which is the name of the boat that Thor Heyerdahl took to discover.
So you saw it at home. It was the first time.
And so my dad and I were just looking at that and reading it, and that kind of inspired me to do the project.
And then the next day he came and told me about that.
And we both got really hooked on it.
Not immediately, but we were both really debating between should we do Gates, should we do Jobs, should we do Lucas, or should we do Williams? So we chose at the end. We chose George Lucas and John Williams, and we forgot about Thor Heyerdahl. Then we researched through our list the next day, and when you gave us the Chromebook time, and thought that Heyerdahl would be a good choice.
But they'd all make good choices.
Yeah, they.
But you chose Heyerdahl.
Because he really stood out to us and inspired and interested us to do the project.